Oh my goodness. CNN News just got completely exposed from one of their chief staffers who thought he was going on Tinder dates. Oh my God, what an amazing story. Look, I've been telling you all for years, and I know you know, the mainstream media is not your friend. That includes, by the way, Fox News, although it seems like CNN keeps stepping in it. But a lot of these mainstream news sources, they're not unbiased. They don't really care about you. They care about division, dividing, and conquering us. But CNN is easily the worst of the bunch, and this looks just brutal for them. They should be more careful with protecting their data, but they don't have a sweet VPN like you should after this amazing sponsor. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, it's 2021 and everybody should have a VPN. The one I use is Private Internet Access. Why do I use Private Internet Access? Well, there's a bunch of reasons. First of all, they have a no-log policy. Second of all, my one subscription is good for up to 10 devices, so I can protect my PC, my laptop, my cell phones, my tablets, and all sorts of other things. I use Private Internet Access. I recommend it to my friends and family when they ask. Look, it's also great to unblock geo-restricted content, websites, YouTube included, social media networks, find better deals online, play games blocked in your region, and protect your identity while keeping your data encrypted. They also have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it out risk-free. And CNET rated it as, quote, spectacular, and it's got PC Mag's Editor Choice Award for the past 5 years. And Private Internet Access has an amazing offer for you, subscribers of the Quartering. If you use my link in the pinned comment down below, you can save 77%. You can get total protection for $2.59 a month. Get your online browsing protected and help support the channel by signing up with Private Internet Access today. Make sure you get protected. I use Private Internet Access, and not only will you receive protection, but you'll be helping support the channel. So, CNN staffer goes on 5 Tinder dates with Project Veritas spy, recording the whole thing. James O'Keefe, Project Veritas, has now just released new secretly recorded footage on Tuesday that reveals CNN employees describing how the network worked to support President Joe Biden's campaign during 2020 presidential election. Mediate has learned that this is just the first in the series. CNN technical director Charlie Chester played the video's starring role. Our focus was to get Trump out of office, right? The video shows Chester telling someone off camera. By the way, anybody who finishes their sentences with right, like, I'm always suspect of them. I think you should be too. Without saying it, that's what it was. As is the case with the videos made from source material captured from hidden cameras, one should approach the final product with a healthy dose of caution. I agree. We don't know the level of editing, this type of the context, that may have been removed. I know that there are a lot of people that simply just don't believe anything Project Veritas puts out, which I don't think is healthy, but I also don't think it's healthy to just believe everything whole hog immediately. But this is a long video, several minutes long, that I don't think a ton of extra context is needed for a lot of the things that he said. So post-production editing is a dark art that can materially change the meaning of context of things that seem obvious at first blush. Now, but in this instance, there are enough examples of full and complete comments made by Chester that were clearly not crafted out of thin air or misleading editing tricks. A source close to CNN tells Mediate that Chester was targeted by Project Veritas via the dating app Tinder, in which his dating profile included CNN. The unidentified Project Veritas employee claimed to be a nurse, and the two initially bonded over Chester's past health concerns. Oh man, men are just men. Come on, dogs. Those sweet walls are always our downfall. They went on a total of 5 dates. the last of which occurred at a coffee shop in Chester's neighborhood, but was interrupted by O'Keefe and others before leaving the coffee shop. The most brutal portion of the video is the opening supercut, comprised of footage viewers will see later in the video. While many of these comments are cut for time, as is standard procedure for a well-known super tease, when cut together so quickly it has a desired effect of being much more substantial than the comments viewed on their own. The footage did not make the identity of Chester's conversational partner clear, though a rack of liquor bottles is clearly pictured behind him in one scene. Booze, including wine glasses and what appeared to be a can of Hop Peak IPA, appear in another. Chester described his role in one scene as being, quote, one step down from the director. God, so cringe. Though the role of technical director actually has no input on the content of programming. Oh my God, so embarrassing. The role of tech. Okay, so, and he was almost certainly not included in any editorial calls. Nonetheless, he was gainfully employed by CNN, clearly was observant to on-air programming, and referred to his network's work to defeat President Donald Trump as literal propaganda. They admit it. But he said he believed in the mission. His hand was shaking. He was losing it, Chester said. He's unfit. We're creating a story here. I think that's propaganda. In a separate cutscene, he added, we had nothing else to run at that time. We were just taking shots off a bow, just hoping something would hit. You know? His conversational partner, a woman, tells him at one point that she has a, quote, confession about her concerns with Biden. I guess I have a confession, the woman said. I worry about Biden and his health, I guess. Your news health? Chester replied, apparently mishearing. No, I said Biden, the woman responded. I just want to, take care of him and make sure he's okay. Chester assured her that was precisely the kind of concern that the network worked to Assange get rid of during the campaign, saying the whole thing of him running, showing him jogging was obviously a deflection of his age, and they're trying to make it like, oh, I'm healthy. Is that what we did? The woman asked. I don't know. What do you mean? Chester drove the point home. We would always show shots of him jogging, like, I'm healthy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but what happens if something happens? Chester said he would be okay with that, allowing Vice President Kamala Harris to ascend to presidency. I had so many arguments about this. My dad would be like, you're voting in Kamala Harris because he's never going to make it, Chester told the woman. And I'm like, he's not going to, but I'm okay with that. She probably could be a B, in a board meeting, and you'd hate her as a boss, but she's real and better than what we got regardless. O'Keefe defended his portrayal of technical director in the statement to Mediaite. I'm not saying that right. Mediaite. As technical director, Charlie Chester is fully involved in the day-to-day operations of CNN's newsroom. He is witness to decisions being made and who they are coming from. He has full access to the culture within the network and explains on video how his company-wide directives are being implemented. When asked about his surreptitious approach to using Tinder and a reliance on hidden camera, O'Keefe added, if it's the objective of the press to deliver the truth to the public, circumstances can arise where undercover techniques are necessary. Of course. Why would this even be an own? According to Philip Meyer, editor of a volume called Ethical Journalism, journalists have posed as school teachers, longshoremen, customers, military servicemen, law enforcement, high school, everything to get the story. Now, if you look, this is really brutal. This is really brutal. Now, of course, much of the replies will be, look at the very first reply. Now do Fox and Newsmax. Yeah, I don't trust Fox or Newsmax or what's the other one? I can't think of the other one. There's another right-leaning one. I don't trust MSNBC. I'm not saying out of hand that what they're saying isn't true. I'm just saying I don't believe anything that is, how do you say, I don't believe anything out of hand from any news network. And it can be a difficult way to live. A lot of people ask, I actually had a conversation with an uncle at Easter. And he outright asked me, where do you get your news? How do you tell who's telling the truth? We have the secret. Everybody in the family is really hard left. not hard left, but very strongly left. And so, politics come up and we just kind of keep our mouth shut because it's family and why argue. But, whenever we're alone, we talk kind of secretively. And he basically was like, I don't know where to get my news. I know that both sides of the aisle are biased. And what do you do? Because he knows about my YouTube channel. And I basically said, yeah, I mean, you really just have to kind of plug into things that you find really important, because if you try to understand everything that's going on, all aspects, let's say, it's really difficult to get to the bottom of every little thing. You'd spend all day, every day doing it. So what I try to do is I pick things that I think are important and I try to understand both sides of it, and neither of which involves mainstream media. I watch YouTubers, I watch, I view social media, I have trusted sources, and I accept my own bias as well as the bias of each news networks. And he basically said, like, wow, that's a lot to get, just the news. I said, yeah, that's the sad state of mainstream media right now. And I'm hoping that there is a call for unbiased news again someday. I think you're finding it here on YouTube. And that's just fine with me. CNN's a joke. Most mainstream media is a joke too. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.